Welcome to Everyone Loves Guitar, where we get to sit down and talk with interesting professional guitar players and related music industry experts. If you love playing guitar, stick around. You're in the right place. Hey, this is Craig, and I just wanted to give you an update. Over the last 9 months, in large part because of your listener support, we've managed to build this show into one of the top guitar and human interest podcasts online. As a result, we now have openings for a select group of businesses to advertise on and sponsor this show. And I thought you, as a listener, would be in the best position to make recommendations to business owner friends of yours who might benefit from advertising here on the Everyone Loves Guitar show. So if you know a business owner who might profit from advertising on this show, have them connect with me by going to everyonelovesguitar.com/advertising. Again, that's everyonelovesguitar.com/advertising. I'd love to have a brief conversation with them to see how we might be able to help. Thanks for your help, and now let's get on with the show. Hey, everybody, this is Craig Garber from Everyone Loves Guitar, and I have a really interesting guest today. We're with A.G. Weinberger. A.G. is like extremely well-known and probably the top blues guy, not probably, the top blues guitar player in Romania and Eastern Europe, and he's done a lot of things to actually revolutionize and bring the blues to countries that were where blues wasn't allowed because of communism and government involvement. And we'll talk a lot about that today. He's also a very sweet guy, extremely soulful. He's a great player, both in guitar and slide, lap steel, harmonica. And he's a very deep guy. So I'm looking forward to this conversation. He's originally from Romania. He's currently living in both Romania and Hungary. He is a band leader, vocalist, producer, guitar player, like I said, lap steel and harmonica player as well, and an international blues ambassador. He's the central figure in the Romanian blues community. His touring band regularly plays to packed houses countrywide, and they've attracted rave reviews in rock, jazz, and blues festivals from the States to Germany and Israel. He's acknowledged as a real national music treasure in Romania, and I think they're working on a big statue of you down in the center of town now.
Well, they never asked my consent to it, but you know.
He's also a giant. I didn't know this, man. He's 6'5". I didn't know that. That's massive. You're a big guy. Yes. I'm only
discriminated.
What's that?
Yeah, I feel discriminated because I couldn't find clothing and find shoes in this country.
I know.
Wear size 15, so just
everybody's got discrimination, man. Get online.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah. Since his entry into the blues, he's shared the stage with Al Di Meola, John Mayall, Chick Corea, and James Blood Ulmer. As the only non-American performer at the Bluestock National Blues Convention and Showcase in Memphis in 1998, A.G. also shared the bill with Leon Russell, Sun Seals, Little Milton, and Hubert Sumlin. And what the takeaway there is that people are pissing and moaning they can't get work, and this guy comes from another country and shares the stage with these people. You got to look at that and see what's really going on with your life. Besides his efforts in spreading the blues in Romania, A.G.'s written scores for 17 theater plays for worldwide famous Romanian theater companies. In May of 2000, he left Romania for a cultural exile in the USA. Upon arrival, he got into the Chicago club circuit, worked with Sun Seals, Laurie Bell, Pistol Pete, Chico Banks, Willie Kent, and the Gents. He then moved to New York City and performed in clubs such as The Decade, The Bitter End, The Red Lion, which I think is gone, The Stone Pony, and a few others. Finally, he settled in Las Vegas, where he was working in clubs and casinos. His first American album was called Nashville Calling, and that was recorded at the beginning of 2005 in Nashville, Tennessee, and in Seattle, Washington. And it was produced by Tom Hambridge, who also produced Lynyrd Skynyrd, Johnny Winter, Bonnie Raitt, Susan Tedeschi, Delbert McClinton, and Johnny Lang. He's got 8 solo albums, including Standard Weinberger 1997, which earned him the recognition of the Romanian Composers and Musicologists Union, which has never formally recognized the blues genre. Instead, they awarded it the Best Jazz Album of the Year in 97. Man, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you coming on the show.
I thank you, Craig, for your interest and support. Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Likewise. And he just came back. AG just got back. You just finished driving God knows how many hours, didn't you?
Well, I mean, a day before yesterday. So
I thought you just got there.
Yeah.
So I will tell you right now, very few people listening to this from America are going to be familiar with Romania. So if you could tell us what Romania was like when you were growing up, musically, politically, and culturally, I think you'll set a good baseline for your whole story.
Well, Romania is a beautiful country. It has all the shapes: mountains, seaside, delta of the Danube River, excellent food and excellent wine. But back in the days, we had a pretty dark era. In the early 80s up till the early 90s. We had like 2 hours hot water during the day.
Holy crap.
All the restaurants and the bars were closed by 9 p.m. just for the reason to save energy. I used to play in the restaurant circuit, and we had to play 2 hours per day from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. That was pretty rough, but we still got access to the music what we loved and cherished. I was part of a little illegal smugglers group. I'm from Oradea, which is I'm from the west coast of Romania, very close to the Hungarian border. So we had this little smuggler setup, and we used to get these vinyl records, the books, the movies on videotape, the birth control pills.
You're kidding.
The blue jeans. I'm not, because it was forbidden. Actually, birth control methods were forbidden in Romania of those days.
Wow.
And, yeah, because the leaders want to triple the population. So they had this campaign. But we just get access to those things: chocolate, coffee, cigarettes, and so on and so on. All the goodies,
Yeah.
What the grown up little young boy could put his hands on. Well, that was very interesting times. And I got all these weird records, Craig. So I remember the first record, what I couldn't sell, it was the Spectrum of Billy Cobham.
Oh, yeah.
That double beautiful album. And so I had to listen to it. And I was 12 years old, right? And I put it on my turntable, and I was amazed by the guy named Tommy Bolden.
Oh yeah.
And I said, "This is the way. This is the path what I want to walk on, for my entire life." So that was the first record what actually put me on the track of my entire life, man. And, but it was a communist Romania. It was a dark age, but we didn't suffer that much. We had parties because we had the birth control pills. We had good booze, moonshine booze. We had access to books, forbidden books. Well, it was pretty exciting. And then after the service, because they took me to the army.
Did you get caught? Did you get caught?
No. It was mandatory for every kid.
Okay.
After 18 years of age to do 18 months of army service. But they took me to build the railroad. It was a kind of forced labor because I had a bad file. I had a bad name. Weinberger is not really a Romanian sounding name.
Yeah.
So I also had a bad file because my father was in jail for political reasons before I was born.
Okay.
You remember the Hungarian Revolution in *56? Do you know the story?
I do not.
Well, the Hungarians in 1956, they did an uprising, tried to push the Soviets out from the country. but they got busted. So all the surrounding nations in my hometown, for example, my father used to play basketball. So they went out the street supporting the Hungarian rebellion. They got busted, arrested, and sentenced to jail for 9 years. So,
oh my God! So your dad served 9 years in prison?
Just 6 out of 9. They reduced to 6.
Holy shit! So
he got out in 64, and I was born in 65. But I was patched already.
Yeah, because of his activities. Yeah.
So whatever. This is why I got into this forced labor military service, building the railroad. Nasty stuff with a lot of jailbirds. A lot of people who just came out from the jail from sentences, and they had to do the military service. So it wasn't exactly a peaceful time.
Yeah.
But I got out from this. Let's say I wasn't even 20 when I got out from the army. And then immediately I joined this famous rock band from my hometown. So we had this very intense touring schedule around the country. We were all Hungarian guys.
Wait a minute. I thought you said you were born in Romania, in the Western. You said they were all Hungarian guys, but aren't you Romanian, or is because you were close?
Well, I am a Romanian citizen. That's true.
Right.
But I'm a Hungarian Jew. So we have to somehow we have to maintain and protect our own identity.
Yeah. Okay.
It's different in America.
Yeah, it's very hard. It's totally different. Yeah.
This is why I call myself the gringo these days when I have the solo act, because I feel myself like an intruder in my own country.
Yeah.
There is no such thing that comforting the difference. It's a very subtle and very fine lines going on in this social structure what Romania has these days.
Really? Wait, let me ask you a question, just to interrupt you 1 second. All these things that you were smuggling, where were they? Were they coming from Hungary, or were they coming from? Where were they coming from? Like birth control pills, records?
Well, from Hungary, from the former Yugoslavia, they had an excellent record label, the Yugotone.
Okay.
And they had all those major licenses for printing out albums.
Okay.
Very good quality. We had the Polish guys, excellent records. Good, very good license list. They have a lot of good titles. The Germans, and even we got records from India. They had this very thick, 180 gram thick, excellent sounding vinyl records, man. The Dum Dum record label, you remember?
Never heard it coming out of India. No, we got stuff here. Most of the bootlegs here when I was a kid came from Italy, Spain, and the UK. I really don't remember seeing anything from Eastern Europe. It was Italy, Spain, the UK, a couple of Irish bootlegs, but never,
Actually, these wasn't bootlegs, I guess, because these were.
They were just official. Yeah.
The official record label of those countries.
Yeah. Okay. Never.
So they got a license for printing out all these titles, but we had everything. You name it, from wishbone ash to cactus.
Wow.
All these
those are some things. I heard both of those bands were great.
Yeah. Pretty unknown in Europe,
And
but
so
we had all those titles.
And so you were a kid and you were just hustling to make some money, and at the same time, it was furthering your musical education.
Yeah, actually, I was working every summer in the holiday in school break, just to make some pocket money.
Sure.
My parents got divorced when I was 10, whatever. My mom had a rough time to step up on her own feet and start supporting the family. I was the only family. I'm a single guy, so I don't have any siblings. And so I had to work every summer and make some pocket money, and also make some money out of this smuggling business.
Yeah. Was divorce back then in Eastern Europe, was divorce common, or was it taboo, or was it?
No, it was common.
It was yeah. It's interesting. I think it's things related to like sex and stuff like that seem to be more, or divorce, relationships seem to be more progressive in Europe, because, if you go back here to the 50s and 60s, it was not that common, and it was kind of still like a, like, oh, they got divorced, don't talk about it kind of thing. Whereas now it's extremely common and nobody gives a shit about anything like that. But that's interesting that yeah. I'm sorry. This is like fascinating for me, man. I'm learning.
It was pretty common. So the sex issue wasn't that easy to handle because of the lack of the birth control methods. So it was forbidden completely. But we are just from the west coast of Romania, so we had to do what we had to do.
Of course.
So we found our ways to manage all the situation, and we actually supplied the entire western part of Romania, even deeper, maybe the half of Transylvania we supplied with this.
With birth control.
And vinyl records and books and chocolate and coffee and whatever.
Man, if they had the internet, you'd be like an e-commerce millionaire many times over.
Probably we would act like Amazon or something.
Wow. Okay, so you went into the service. You came out. You did that shitty manual forced labor, and then what happened?
And then I joined my hometown's only most effective and nationwide famous rock band.
Okay.
I knew that this is my only chance to get into the business. Actually, I want to become a pro ever since I was 10. I knew exactly after I woke up from this meningitis. I had coma for 4 days.
Wow.
And I told my mom, listen, I want to be a guitar player, a rock and roll guitar player. And my mom said, okay, sick kid, whatever, sure. Sure. And this is what I became eventually. And I knew exactly that my only chance to get out from this little town, which is about 150, 160,000 people. So it's a mid-sized town.
Yeah,
for me.
Good, yeah.
Yeah. It was to join this band. But this band, the members were way older than I was. This band, called the Metropole Group, was formed in '68. But these guys were playing in a little resort town right near my hometown every winter. So I went out to see them, and I catch the guitar player messing really badly up the Lionel Richie's Hello guitar solo. And I said, oh, you know what? I can do it better than you. I can do it exactly as you. Give me that guitar. So I did, and I let my number there. This is my number. If you need me, just call me. I was full of nerves, So I still have this attitude, but way more controlled right now when I was back then. I was 20, 19 years of age or 20 or something.
Yeah, you don't have a filter when you're that age.
And you know what? That was in October. Early December, they called me. Hey, if you are available for the New Year's Eve party, we cannot pay you, but from the tips we can split. But at least you have a chance to join us. So this is what I did, and ever since I became a member of the band. And then in 85 in spring, I became the touring member as well. And I remained with them till 88 when they kicked me out.
Why'd they kick you out?
Because I didn't want to copy and learn note by note some Judas Priest song, guitar solo, whatever. Because I was deeply into Pat Metheny and Pat Martino and all those cats and McLaughlin, the Mahavishnu stuff, So I just didn't have any interest in this bubblegum rock music, For me, rock music, heavy rock music is Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Progressive rock music is Led Zeppelin. AC/DC is a blues-based rock band, excellent stuff, but this is it.
Okay, so at that point in time, did you go out and do your own stuff?
Well, I started my own stuff in '86.
Okay, so shortly after.
About 2 years before they kicked me out.
Oh, okay.
But honestly, I never felt myself an organic part as a full member of this band. I felt myself just a session player, another guitar player, because it was a different generation. I was 20, 21, 22. These guys were 38, 40.
Okay.
They had something, they had different things to talking about.
Yeah.
They have different interests in many things.
Oh, sure. That's a different generation. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 20 years
I was a kind of loner.
Yeah.
But I had an excellent gear, man. So I never thought it's possible. A guy from my hometown just transformed a Zelmer bass amp into an excellent guitar amplifier. It was an 18-watt. Sensational gain, man. Just I think it was an A-class or something from a bass amp. And I had a little 12-inch Goodman speaker, the original British speaker, the Goodmans, not the Bulgarian, but even the Bulgarians did the Goodman's version of it, but it was originally from the UK, which I got from a girl from Sweden, because you have to know, man, those days we didn't have access to gear, to speakers, to guitars, to stomp boxes or whatever. We didn't have access even for guitar strings. So we had to boil the dirt out of the strings.
You're kidding.
No, I'm not.
So you had to use the old strings and boil them. That's
correct.
Holy shit. Anybody who bitches about changing strings here, please listen to this. That's commitment, man. Holy fuck. That is intense.
And then when the string broke, so we had to knot it, So sometimes it was on the 30th, 50th fret, whatever, the knot. So it wasn't that easy to play.
Oh my God. So you had holy shit. This is like primitive stuff compared to like what we're used to here.
Hey, we have to do what we have to do.
Yeah,
I totally get it. Find out that the people, ladies from Nordic countries, from Scandinavia, they're coming to this resort town near my hometown, which has an excellent medical wellness stuff. Thermal water, medical thermal water. They have this bath and whatever. Actually, they came for having fun, for the booze and for the hanky-panky.
Yeah.
Right? So we were at the band, so we provide everything.
The booze, the fun, and the hanky-panky.
Strings. Sorry?
You provided the booze, the fun, and the hanky-panky.
That's true. In exchange for guitar strings, speakers, and sometimes excellent guitar necks.
Wow.
Because the guitar necks fitted the suitcase.
Oh.
Little stomp boxes. This is how I got my first Boss OD1, man, in 84.
That's amazing. So a woman from Northern Europe bought it down to you.
Exactly.
Holy shit.
So we had to do what we had to do.
Yes. Wow.
But every kind of rock band who had this opportunity to play in these resort towns all around Romania, they did the same.
It's just a totally, and that was just what you did. It was very common, I'm sure. It wasn't like, special, or that's just how the lifestyle was.
Well, correct. Listen, you had to think about it, and you had to have nerve and the guts to do it, because it was quite illegal, even to be in touch or in contact with foreign people.
Really?
So it wasn't that easy.
Holy crap. Amazing.
But we were playing, right? So we were playing on a bandstand. And they were dancing. The group for Sweden or from Norway that was dancing. And the girls just dancing facing me. They just moved their body and they danced facing me. So, and actually I played the chords, long chords, and we changed the money. It was like, let's say, 20-inch between us, right?
Yeah.
So I gave them the Romanian money, the lei, and they gave me the dollar. So and I played the next chords. So it was pretty, and of course it was lights, disco lights, stroboscopes and whatever. So all the people who was watching us, they couldn't really see what's happening.
Yeah.
So it was very,
yeah, this is like James Bond stuff here to get guitar necks. No, it's crazy. It's like, a secret operation. Holy shit.
But everybody did that.
Everybody did that. Yeah, that's what it's just, we take things for granted here in the States, I think, often, and not realizing the challenges that not a long time ago, this is in the mid 80s, you're talking, that's 30 years ago. Yeah. Houses are older than that here. And it's amazing. And wow. You told me a story last time we talked about how blues music was not allowed in Romania and how you were sort of involved with making blues acceptable to the communist regime by sort of faking it. Can you share that story?
Yeah. So it was in 86 when, with a good friend of mine, a piano player, he's an Armenian guy. Mm. Very important to mention the ethnic origin of this people.
Why is that?
Because we have to be proud of our own identity. Because nobody would instead of us.
Interesting.
As the song says, "This is not America. This is not a miracle." You know that song?
No. What song?
David Bowie and Pat Metheny.
No, I don't.
It's an excellent song from the late 80s.
What song?
This is not America. This is not a miracle.
I don't. Is that I'm Afraid of America, that song?
This is not America. This is not a miracle.
No,
I guess.
I don't know that.
David Bowie featuring Pat Metheny.
I'm gonna have to look that. I stopped listening to Bowie around then. I know the earlier stuff.
Yeah, but that was the only featuring with Pat. So a jazz guitar player with a pop rock icon, man. That was pretty bizarre.
Yeah,
you can find internet, I guess.
I know. It's off the topic, but there's a really good documentary about Mick Ronson out now. I don't know if you guys get Netflix over there.
Yeah, I have Netflix. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really good documentary on Mick Ronson and Bowie. If you get a chance to see it, you'd like it. Oh. Sorry, I didn't mean to go off topic, but it just reminded me of that.
So we find out. Well, actually, this guy was a Memphis Slim freak, right? Yeah. 40s, early 50s, early 60s kind of piano blues stuff. He is pretty good. He was pretty good. Actually, he and the drummer, they had the first free jazz performance duo. They were freaking real, man. So all those masks, all those shamanic. Can you imagine to the communist regime?
No.
If they saw these crazy guys, man. So that luck was that was no lyrics to it. So you have to know that the jazz festivals were controlled from the regime because they was thinking, okay, let's give 3, 4, 5, 10 days a year to these weirdo intellectuals, poets, painters, writers, whatever. Give them a space where they can drink and then fuck a little bit. They can just shout, whatever, and then they're gonna quiet down. And you don't have anything to do with them a year around. So these jazz festivals is about this controlling the uncomfortable part of the society.
Wow.
In the name of the regime. And they found this genre of music which they considered it is not dangerous because it has no lyrics to it.
Okay.
So, jazz, we don't care what is it. No lyrics, no words. Okay, do it.
So they were concerned about spreading messages of retaliation and unification through words. That was their priority. Okay.
They wasn't well educated in this matter, so they had no idea about the free jazz movement or all those kind of experimental music what the late 50s, early 60s brought to the humankind, like the Coltrane's or all those kind of transcendental experiences, whatever, all those kind of substances into it, or so no lyrics is good for the regime.
That's hysterical.
So we came up with this idea to form a blues band. That was pretty much the Memphis Slim type of thing. I don't know if I'm sure you're familiar with the American folk festival.
Sure.
Series of albums, right? All the blues players were there. Mm. So that was our sound. That mid-60s Willie Dixon type of no distorted Junior Guitar Watson type of whatever, right? Mm-hmm. And so we offered this project to one of the promoters of the biggest jazz festival in the country. This festival was in March, every March, in a beautiful town in southern Transylvania called Sibiu, or in German Hermannstadt. It's a German town.
So wait, Transylvania was another. Explain what it's not around anymore. Transylvania, or is it?
Of course it is.
What was it back then, though?
It was a province. Back then was part of Romania.
Okay,
but historically, Transylvania was an independent form of state of some sort. It was a prince who used to run the whole principate, right?
Okay.
It was not a kingdom, but it was an independent form of organization, and they had two other Romanian provinces: the Moldovians, who were on the east side of Romania, and the Vlachians, right? They were on the southern part of Romania. So actually we have three major historical territories which got united about 100 years ago. Actually, right in this year, we are celebrating the centennial of the unification.
And so is Transylvania still part of Romania, or is it still an independent territory, or is it now officially part of...
No. Everything now is incorporated into the Romanian state.
Okay.
But we still have this denominations for these regions. And if you come to Romania, I'll show you. In Transylvania, there is different cooking style than in Moldova or in Oltenia. Different traditional, let's say, clothing. The music is different. I mean, the traditional folklore music is different. Dances are different. Even the accents are different. How people speaks.
Do they get along though? Is everybody?
Of course.
Oh, okay.
It's a happy, laid-back country, man. It's a constant joy. This is why nobody's working, everybody's having party. This is why we're so poor.
I may come there, man. This is getting interesting just to see this.
Yeah. All right.
They talk about places to go in the States, and like Hungary and Romania always come up as good destinations, and Poland, because they're not as much money as like, France or England or other parts of Europe or Italy, so they're always talking about that here.
This is a fun country. The roads are pretty good. Food is excellent. The wine is fabulous. What else we have? Oh, we have the Moonshine Plum Brandy, which is unique on the entire galaxy.
Can we sell it on e-commerce?
Well, I'm not sure because it's quite illegal. So it's
it's illegal moonshine. Okay, same thing here. It's illegal moonshine.
Yeah. So this is how we came up with this blues band idea, and his free jazz drummer joined us, and another bass player, an upright bass player, jazz player. Actually, this guy now is in a very famous concert classical bass player and teacher somewhere in Texas.
In Texas?
Yeah. He just emigrated in America 30 years ago or something. And we came up with this band called the Transylvanian Blues Community.
And you approached them and basically said, we're going to play this music, but it has no lyrics?
Oh, actually, no. We know that we have lyrics, but when we're promoting our stuff to the organizers of these events, festivals, actually these people were part of the censorship, right?
Yeah.
So we had to tell them a little lie. This is kind of another. It's an ancient jazz stuff, So the jazz is coming from this. So it's a kind of root music, whatever. Do we have any lyrics? Nah, there are no words, man. Just shouting, pain and none but love and blah blah blah. Okay, go ahead and do it.
So what happened when you got up there and sang? You were the lead guitarist, and I'm sure the singer too, right?
And the piano player sang too. Right?
Okay. So what happens? What happens when you start singing?
Well, back in 87 or 88, it was a summer jazz festival, and I did a very unconscious thing. We were start jamming, and I start singing about "I'm so sorry for my country."
Oh my God!
Well, two guys came on stage.
Yeah.
And they put me away. The band eventually stopped playing. The audience started booing. There was about 3,000 people in the audience. It was an open air arena on the seaside. And they took me backstage. And I remember one guy told me, "Are you out of your fucking mind?"
Now, what language are they talking?
In Romanian.
In Romanian, but what you speak multiple languages, don't
well,
you?
I speak three.
English, Romanian, and German,
and Hungarian,
and
a little Yiddish,
and a little Yiddish. What does most of the country speak?
Romanian.
Okay.
Romanian.
Is English spoken there? Do a lot of people speak English, or?
Well, you would be surprised. A lot of people speak English, French, Italian, Spanish.
Oh, wow.
Not so many people speak Russians. But you know why? Because we had these movies in a cinema, and it was just subtitled. So we learned the foreign languages.
From subtitles.
Of the melody of the languages and the senses. And people are Romanian people are very talented in musicality of things.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are speaking multiple languages here.
That's amazing. That's great. So I go there. I don't have to walk around with my cell phone and Google Translate. I can ask questions.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Great. The best hackers on the planet are in Romania.
Oh, I know that. I know that's well known.
Yeah.
That's well known. Okay, so they take you off stage and they said, "Are you fucking crazy?"
Correct. So they handcuffed me and they put me away, and I got a little punch in my stomach, whatever. And they just released me the next morning. I had to promise them that I won't do this again, and blah blah blah. But I think that was the night when I became what I became today.
Yeah. I'm surprised with your background, with your family history. that they let you go the next day and they didn't like incarcerate you for much longer.
They didn't have any legal basis. Well, that was just a momentary stopping something what could grow a little more way bigger than it has, you know.
Wow. Yeah, you sound like you got a lucky break there, to be honest with you.
Yeah, because I became famous instantly.
Instantly. Well, plus they could have come up with all sorts of bullshit, inciting a riot, subversive against the government. They could have made up a bunch of stuff easy, Wow.
1 year later, they arrest me again, but they took me away from my own home in Oradea. It was a mistake because somebody broke into the building of the local newspaper and stole away the writing machines, right? The
typewriters.
The typewriters. Back then, typewriters had a very severe regime in Romania. They had to know the font types, the serial number. They had to know the samples, because if somebody would type pamphlets, they would know which typewriter.
Holy shit.
So it was very severe. So somebody broke into this local daily newspaper building and stole away 8 typewriters. And one eyewitness said it was a tall guy with the long hair. Oh,
so they came to you.
Yeah. Well, I guess everybody who was tall and with long hair in my hometown was taken in.
Mm.
But they released me, let's say, in 2 hours, because they figured out that I was on tour with the Metropole band. This happened 3 days earlier, so we just came back one night earlier, the arrest. So we were on tour. I was not possible to be me, that person.
Yeah. We talked about language a minute ago. How did you learn English so well when you came here to the States?
Well, that was a great help.
Yeah.
Because I believe that the best language teacher is the environment what you live in.
Yeah.
But I started when I picked up this thirst for jazz and blues music, and I start translating my audio tapes, the songs.
Okay.
And then I started reproducing them when I was 11 or 12 years old. And just constantly get involved on hourly basis with these 2 genres. It just came very naturally to me.
Did you have other people, like buddies of yours, that were also learning English that you could talk with?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is not quite unique in Romania what I've been through. So a lot of people, a lot of good buddies of mine, friends of mine from the childhood.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if they're guitar players or musicians or engineers or doctors, but they came up with the same type of information synthesis, So they had this ability to make their ways among the interest and among the peers. So it's not quite. It's quite common.
Yeah.
What I represent.
What happened? What before and after communism? What were the biggest changes in both music and in the audiences over there?
Well, back in the 80s, my craft had a social status, had a kind of social respect. The money was better. Opportunities were way, way better, because you see, we didn't have any competitor. We didn't have TV channels.
Okay.
So if you went on tour, we just put a poster, let's say 50 or 100 posters in the town. By night, we had a packed sports arena, 4,000 or 5,000 people.
Oh, because there was no competition.
No comment. Doesn't matter what you was doing, what kind of music you're playing, or you are a comedian, or who cares? Something happened in that city, people just came.
Okay, because there were no choices.
No other options, right?
Oh, wow.
Well, that was bad, of course. This is why the money was better for us. But at least we had this social status, very important. We had this, you know, I'm sure you're familiar with the Musicians Union in the United States, right?
Yeah, sure.
So if you want to be a member, you had to give a little exam to a panel of people over there. This is what I did in Renton, New Jersey. That was the union in Renton, New Jersey, when I was a member of. And when I was joined, they asked me, "What are you doing?" "I'm a guitar player." "Are you any good?" "Yes, I am." "So show us something." So they assembled right away a little panel, and they had to play something for them. And I asked them, "But why are you asking me to do this? Like an exam?"
Yeah.
And they told me, "Because we don't want you to compromise the dignity of our craft. So we want to make sure that you are what you are pretending to be." So we had this type of attitude and this type of exam before the changes. It was in 1990. So we had this status, social status. We know exactly how much money we are allowed to earn, how many hours we're allowed to work. We had a kind of medical benefit, whatever. Nowadays, these are gone because people today thinking that, these are communist tools, but they are wrong, because this type of paper of a craft, what you're representing, it was introduced in Romania back in 1920. Using the template of the British Musicians Union. In 1920, Romania was not a communist country.
Okay.
But this paper, this little certificate, gave you a social status, a kind of a respect of society.
Yeah.
Nowadays, we don't have this. And this is why our entire business is just flooded with a bunch of dilettantism and stuff what I just cannot associate myself with.
Yeah, I think the problem is people associate control and you know, that's the problem. See, like in the States here, even though they give you you may need to perform to get into the union, we never had anything like that. So I have no frame of reference to compare, at all.
Craig, if you're a lawyer or an attorney, you have to be a member of a bar. Right?
Sure, absolutely.
So to get admittance to the bar, you have to go through an exam.
Right, I totally get you.
It's the same thing. You are part of the craft,
yeah.
So the craft need to verify you. Are you able to be part of the craft?
No, I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, having experienced that, and I could see the other side, having never experienced it in the music arena. I totally get it as a professional, how you've seen the decay of performance, lack of, because there's no standard, there's less money. So I totally get it. I could understand that. It's just, I don't think the world is the world's moving away from stuff like that, at least over here. I don't know what it's like there. Obviously it's the same thing. Yeah. It's, I think any form of control is considered uncomfortable.
But it shouldn't be a form of control of the macro system.
Yeah, I understand.
Form of control of the micro system.
Yeah,
we have to be careful. Whom do we let to get in?
Yeah, I totally get it.
Because otherwise, our profession, our vocation, gonna suffer.
I understand what you're saying. It's like the guys that belong to the plumbers union up in New York or the construction workers union. You know, you have that. I understand that. I could see both sides of it. It's a tough. Yeah, I understand exactly what you're saying.
Tough issue.
Yeah, it is a tough issue because because music is a creative pursuit, and in theory, who's to say, if this guy sucks, a lot of people might still like it. Who's to prevent him? So it's a tough. I understand what you're saying.
This is not about quality of performance or of creation. It's about assuming that you are what you pretend to be. So please join a form of organized matter, and this organization would represent your interest.
I understand what you're saying. So that they don't have a musicians union there anymore.
What, in America?
No, in Romania.
No.
Totally gone. See, they have them here, like in Nashville. I have a lot of musicians.
I know.
Yeah, and it's a very good union, and it makes sure they get paid and it properly, and yeah.
So it doesn't matter the quality of your performances, of your creation. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
This is up to the market.
Right. Okay. I get what you. Okay.
Good for you.
Yeah.
But it has to be a form of. A form of self-organizer, something.
I get you.
Because actually, this is turned to be an existential issue.
Yes.
This is why society didn't pay respect for us.
Yeah.
This is why banks are discriminating musicians and freelancers by not giving us credit for buying a fucking house.
Yeah. No, I get
because we don't have a social status. We are not even an accepted profession on the list of the professions at the Ministry of Labor in Romania.
Wow.
So we are not. So you understand where I'm.
So musician isn't even on the list of accepted professions.
No, just musical service provider. This is the official name of this. What is good related to us. But excuse me, Craig. A musical service provider could be.
A radio.
No. A single laptop DJ putting some other people's music at a wedding.
Yeah. Wow.
Can I associate myself with him?
No, I understand what you're saying.
So he is a musical service provider, but I'm a musician.
Yeah, that's tough.
With a different educational background, different intentions, different way of thinking, different existential needs.
Wow. So it's really changed. I understand what you're saying. How it's changed your status and your compensation for the worse.
Yeah.
What? How have audiences changed pre and post communism, or are they the same?
Not much.
Same.
Not much. Let's say audience is better now than it was. It's better informed now as it was before. People are traveling around, TV channels, radio, internet, so they have comparison. And people are getting informed, getting educated into the realm of music. So a Romanian audience is pretty difficult to satisfy. This is a good thing because this sort of put us musicians in a constant evolutional process. So
yes.
A well-informed and very exquisite audience, never gonna let us being jaded. This is a good thing, I guess.
Yeah.
One other thing which I don't like so much, in the middle 90s, kicked in this kind of form of a free show, financed by public money, city halls, diverse companies, put on a big show in the middle of the city somewhere in a public square. People could go and listen for free to music. Now we are paying the tribute for this. These form of shows are gone. So now musicians are relying on ticket sales. Now it's very difficult to change the mentality of the public to come by and buy tickets.
When they used to get it for free.
Yeah. So this is the only downside what I see. But it's slowly getting better. For example, I was lucky enough, if I may say so, that they never invited me to this type of free show.
Yeah.
So people know that if I'm going to play somewhere, it's always for
you got to pay to see this guy.
And I got to pay tickets, right?
Yeah.
So I don't have this difficulty.
Yes. How are audiences different there from here in the States? Because you've played both.
Well, in Romania, people are paying more attention to you. I remember in Vegas when I played in the $10 Blues Lounge. It was, I think, $5 the ticket right at the door. People get in with their back to the stage, playing the poker game on the bar. It was so humiliating.
Yeah.
To pretend that this is the best show of your own life. And those guys just getting in there, pick up girls or playing the poker machine and have another drink. And if they hear something familiar, they just turn around and, oh, yeah, right on.
Yeah, and I think that's a function of Vegas, though, where you were, the venue, that because people are in Vegas for one reason, to gamble. It's a little different. What about like non-Vegas audiences?
Well, we played all these kind of city fairs. We played dance halls with Sandy Brooks. Mm-hmm. People are one in '98. I played with the Black Oak, Arkansas.
Yeah.
Jim Daddy, he was the only guy remaining.
Okay.
He was a guitar player, the Buddy Church. Buddy Church.
No.
He's from Arkansas, from Little Rock, I guess. And excellent picker. So I got this, 3 or 4 gigs with them. And we played in a dance hall. And Black Oak, Arkansas, even I knew about them,
right.
From Romania, so I knew the songs, whatever. Pretty famous, right? Band from the 70s.
Sure.
Well, packed house, but people are sitting on the tables, doesn't pay any attention to the Jim Daddy show. And at the break, the local DJ, put on the Macarena stuff. You remember the song Macarena?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Greg, instantly, everybody stood up.
Yeah.
The line dancing. Macarena is not exactly a double step, right?
Yeah. So they were all line dancing to that.
But they did the line dancing.
Funny.
That was in 97, 96.
I hear that from players all over, that European audiences are a little more attentive. They're you see less of like this with the phone, and in American audiences and I guess because I have so much respect for players. I would never, even if I was not interested in the show, and if I'm sitting near the front, I would never pick up my phone and start texting because I feel that's disrespectful,
Yeah.
But they say you don't see much of that in Europe. You see that more in here in the States, and the other thing I've heard is that people out of America are more respectful of music that you've made, even if you haven't made it recently. Like they honor you, like I've interviewed guys from bands that were popular back in the day, 70s, 80s, and they go to Japan or Europe and they're honored for the music they've made. Just because they didn't make it last week, it's not a big deal. Whereas here in the States, we have a more of what have you done for me lately mentality for a lot of.
Maybe this is a weird form of European complex of inferiority.
No, I just think it's different. I think we are, it's a blessing and a curse. We have so many choices, infinite choices of everything: food, music, sex, furniture, cars. And so I think, you come to expect that. Why do I pay attention to these people? Because I got this. They have 3 new hits out. And I think it's just become like that. Like I go to music with my older son. I go to concerts. He's 28, but he listens to the kind of music I like. So he has no problem with it. But my younger son, he listens to modern music and he's less inclined to go see an older act. So I don't know. I just think because we have so many choices here, we're kind of spoiled, unknowingly spoiled.
Yeah.
We don't know. Wow. I listened to a couple of your new tracks. I listened to Born on the Wrong Side, which has some great slide work that you do, and Wang Dang Doodle, which is a really good, it's like a jazzy blues swing piece, and you get a really good guitar solo in there. Is that from an upcoming album?
Yeah, thank you for your appreciation.
Yeah, I really enjoyed them.
This is the album what I working on right now. We are doing the graphical part of it. I recorded this in Budapest in Hungary with Hungarian players. It's called Reborn. That would be the title of this new record.
Why'd you call it that?
Excuse me?
What'd you call it that?
Because this year, I guess, is going to be a new starting point of a new epoch, new period of my life. On every dimension and aspect of it. This is why I took this. Actually, my idea was to call jazz cats to do a bluesy record. And I instead of explaining them, I just let them play. And I added myself above it. And it came out this very interesting stylistic and aesthetic mixture. That was my intention too, to try to mix just like a master chef somewhere, all those kind of musical languages together. And this is what came out. Bob Margolin, actually, who is playing on the record.
I interviewed Bob. I interviewed Bob. He's over there now, I think. I interviewed Bob like 2 weeks ago. His interview's coming out in a couple of weeks. Yeah.
All right. So actually, he was kind enough to play on the record. He did an excellent slide work on one of my songs.
Oh, he's a great slide player, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I sent him Wang Dang Doodle, and he told me, "Hey, brother, the blues police would kill you for this."
Because you got too much jazz in there. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't care.
No, it sounds just do what the hell you want, man.
Exactly, I don't care. And actually, we tried this material out in a live situation in this little tour what I just finished, and for us, first of all, for ourselves on the stage was enlightening. liked me, and people responded well.
Good.
Because people knew Wang Dang Doodle from other different versions.
Okay. Even
I had a couple of cover versions of it from the beginning of my career. But I let the piano player, I told him, listen, think like Bill Evans, right? And I would think like, let's say, Sun Ra. And I put these 4 chords on it, and just slide. So don't treat the song like a song. Treat the song like a map.
That's pretty cool, man.
So we had a really basic, recognizable bass and guitar riff, right? And this is just like the map, the valleys and the peaks, and just walk around it. And this is what I told the drummer too. And if you listen to the song, this is not an exact shuffle drumming what he's doing there.
No, it was great though. It was just a very laid back swing piece. Sounds like you guys were chilling out,
Yeah. Actually, the entire album has this kind of eclectic side and eclectic feel. Every song is a different map. And I don't care about songs as entities anymore. I don't care what. I more care of how. And what kind of emotions can we open up in people? Because if I would hire blues players to do this record with me, probably we would come up with a rich in cliche record.
Probably. Yeah.
In the 21st century, when we are living this post-truth epoch, right? We are not even postmodern. We passed the postmodern era years ago.
Yeah.
The only chance to make a difference somehow, to some proportions, is like a master chief in a fancy restaurant. It's a fusion kitchen, just mix everything together in his own way, his own crazy. Maybe some of the customers would like him, others would run away with, so spicy, or whatever, with the Mexican sauce.
Yeah.
The Mongolian barbecue in a Hungarian garlic, whatever, But I think this is how I celebrate diversity. By mixing together this aesthetics of different musical expressions and languages. Because on the record we have even contemporary situation. So we have a part, actually this is the title song, The Reborn, which came out, man, actually it was an acid trip by not taking anything. Simply, we just get into a kind of state of mind. It was a polyrhythm. The drum and the bass made a 3/8 and the 5/8, right? Meter. The percussion did a 4x4. The piano player did a 9/8 meter.
And you put this all. How did they? Was this recorded together or separate tracks?
No, separate tracks. Layers.
Oh, I was gonna say, how the hell you record that? Yeah, okay.
And we had a 65 beat per minute click track, and he started with a kind of acoustic Western type of music, how the slides work, and then we get into this absolutely alien planet, man. So actually, that happened around 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. After we finished recording, we was not able to do anything else that day.
Oh, is that intense?
It's a 7-something minute work.
Oh, cool.
It's called The Reborn. Actually, that's the album. Of course, it's not a radio-friendly stuff. But it has everything what I intended to express with this record.
So you feel good about it?
Yeah.
Good. Did Bob play there live, or did he send his tracks in?
No, send tracks.
Because the reason I ask, he was in
budget man too. Yeah.
Well, he was in Finland recently. Like last time I talked to him, I had to send him an email message. He goes, "Hey, hello, I'm having fun in Finland." Or it was just like a week ago. So I was curious if he was out there. Maybe I didn't know if he was, because he plays festivals out in Europe all the time.
Yeah, actually, he's coming this way by the late of August, I guess.
Oh, that's so cool. That's funny. You could tell him that. Tell him I said, "Hey." Yeah. What guitars are you playing on those songs?
Well, my main horse is a 59 Tele. It's a reissue. It's a custom shop Tele. 59
custom shop Tele.
Yeah.
Is that from the Fender custom shop in the States or Fender custom shop over in Europe?
No, from the States.
Okay.
So that's the only guitar what I was paid for. The best sounding guitar. The rest of the guitars that I got from the custom shop, they're not that good.
Really? That's the first time I've heard that. Everybody I've spoken to loves their custom shop work from Fender.
Well, I had this TV show, right? From 2011, 2013. National TV show. About 3 million people watched every week. So I got this call from a Romanian Fender distributor. How could he be involved in this show?
So what was the TV show about?
It was a musical show. It's called The Lollipop.
And you like American Idol, that kind of stuff?
No. I was producing and hosting the show.
Oh, cool. And you played?
I played. I had my house band, and I had a musical guest, and I had an attorney who explained how the legal stuff work in the music business. I had a publisher who explained show by show, 5 minutes each, every how can a writer make money out of his songs? What are the options? I had another guy who were selling gear. So we had, let's say, €1,000 budget, about $1,300 budget.
Yeah.
Told him, listen, we have to spend this money, build a home studio along the 12 shows of a season, right? And we have to find a good laptop for it, a good sound card, a good monitors, a microphone, whatever keyboard, master keyboard, software. And we started recording. Actually, we had to complete a song on this little €1,000 budget home studio just to show the kids how easy is to get all these goodies if you know what to looking for.
That's a pretty good gig you had.
Oh yeah. So this is why this guy who are the Fender distributor in Romania and for Bulgaria. So he has 2 countries.
Oh, so he said, how can I get involved? So he gave you guitars to play.
No, actually he told me, listen, I don't have money, but ask anything else.
Well, what else are you going to ask for? Guitars. You don't want him to come over and cook you dinner.
So this is how I got 2 custom shops for every season.
Oh, cool.
On my choice.
Yeah. But you weren't that happy with them.
Well, none of those were that good.
Yeah.
When I read one.
Maybe they were bootlegs from China.
But I was paid for.
Maybe that's why it feels that good, because you paid for it.
Well, actually, this is way better than the others. Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah.
So that's what you play usually, your 59 custom shop. That's your main guitar.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes I had a 56 Les Paul. That was also the issue. But I bought in London.
Is that?
But that's so heavy. It's about 6 kilograms. It's about
14, 15 pounds.
Yeah, very heavy.
Shit.
Yeah. The same brown Sunburst as your Les Paul.
The iced tea burst. Yeah, that's a classic. It's not heavy at all.
Yeah.
Does that have PAFs in it from 56?
No,
I'm sorry, not P. I mean P90s.
No, just regular humbuckers.
Oh, really? I thought the old 56 had P90s.
Oh, sorry, 59 also. It's 59.
Oh, 59. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
What
I have a couple of other teles. I'm a fan of tele.
Oh, you're a fan?
Doesn't matter the maker.
You just like to. It's funny. I've seen you when I've watched a lot of your videos. I see you mostly with the Les Paul.
That was old videos, right? Before this TV show kicked in.
Oh, okay.
But so Les Paul was my main guitar.
Yeah.
But again, it's so heavy. I'm getting old, getting rusty.
Yeah, sure.
Have a shoulder pain.
Who the hell wants to put 15 pounds on their back?
Yeah.
Nobody, man. That's a big hunk of wood. Yeah. You know, it's funny that when I was a kid, I always used to wonder that, you know, most of these rock and roll guys are like bone thin, you know, like Tommy Bolin, but he played a Strat. But, you know, they're tiny little guys and they got this giant guitar. And I never like, how the hell did that happen?
Yeah.
If you had to go back and give yourself advice to younger AG, you know, from 20 years ago or 30 years ago, even, what advice would you have given yourself that you would have liked to hear, assuming you would have listened?
Yeah. Don't look back.
Don't look back. What do you mean?
Well, once you decide to go on a path, cut everything with the past. Just go further. I'm a sentimental guy.
Yeah.
This is why I came back to this country 4 times from the States.
Okay. You would have stayed in the States, you think, then?
Well, I'm not sure if in the States, but I don't know. So I was starting to one direction, reached a point, and then I was remembering, oh, my sweetheart back then, oh, my mom is back there, oh, blah, blah, blah. And I came back.
Interesting.
Not because I was doing great in that new destination or I was doing bad in here, because I'm pretty well off in Romania.
Right.
I'm making good money. I'm having gigs around. I'm respected. I have this kind of ethical dilemmas all the time. Nowadays, I'm an ethic freak. I'm a radical ethical chevalier.
Explain that.
I hardly believe. I heavily believe in ethics. The ethical issue is very important for me as I getting older.
Ethics about what?
About everything you do. Don't be a jack of all trades, master of none.
Okay.
Assume that your choice is one direction or one type of thing, meaning automatically that you would withdraw yourself from the other things.
Okay, so if I'm allowed to say this, the integrity of what you want to just be more pure in whatever choice you're making, and give 110% in that.
Well, you can say more. You can say honest.
Yeah.
And don't look back. Or if you think that you wouldn't reach that certain point, better don't even start toward that point. So be mature enough to be able to get the right choice.
That's a crapshoot, though. You know that sometimes.
Well, you don't need the crap, to shoot up the crap to do this.
No, a crapshoot. You know what I mean? Crapshoot. A crapshoot is when like you're playing in Vegas. There's a game called craps, and the dice come out. So what I'm saying is, okay, so it's a roll of the dice. If you're making the right choice, sometimes you don't know.
But if you roll the dice, and let's say you didn't get the 7-11 because I was a crap. I was a casino crap freak. Right? Man, that's it. You lose, pay the money, and walk proud away, you know?
Yeah. So what you're saying is, give 110% in one thing, and you wouldn't have deviated from that path as often as you did.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, that's pretty intense. Tough question. Tough question, I know.
No, it's very easy. My fulfillable hopes.
Optimism. So you're an optimist.
Well, I'm rather a pessimist. You know what the pessimist is?
Yeah. Of course, the opposite of optimist.
No.
Okay, tell me.
A pessimist is a well-informed optimist.
I never heard that one. A well-informed optimist. That's funny. A pessimist is a well-informed optimist. I have to put that one in my book to use once in a while.
All right.
What's your best childhood memory, man? You've had a pretty interesting childhood.
Well, maybe when I got my first turntable, earned and bought with the money what I was working for at a construction site.
You bought a turntable at a construction site?
Actually, no, I was working at a construction
Oh, okay.
site.
And then you
get the money, you earn the money, and out of this money, I bought a turntable.
Gotcha. What's you talked about your dad a little bit earlier. What's the most important thing he taught you, or most important lesson?
To don't be like him.
Really? In what way?
I didn't have a very good relationship with my dad.
Interesting. Yeah, I feel you on that one, man. And how about your mom? What's the most important thing she taught you?
That's interesting. Yeah. Well, to have the guts to say no to that environment who feeds you.
What do you mean?
Both of my parents, they didn't believe in me and in my dreams when I was growing up, especially from this meningitis stuff. They didn't believe that I want to be a guitar player. And they tried to discourage me. This is when I ran away from home at the age of 12.
Oh, wow.
And I became a gang member in a park in my hometown, where the vinyl and the...
Oh, so that's how you got introduced to smuggling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I didn't have a typical childhood.
Yeah.
So I can't really answer to that.
No, it's fair enough, man.
The park and the gang was my beloved environment.
Your family, yeah.
When after the school, I just ran into it. And well,
yeah, man, I hear you. When you were here in America, what was your favorite food?
Burgers.
They don't have burgers over there.
Well, of course they are, but no such thing like In-N-Out burgers on the West Coast.
That's funny, man. That's kind of cute. In-N-Out burger.
You know those?
I know of them. I don't eat that. I don't eat fast food ever. but I know them because I've never been there. My wife has been to California a couple of times. She's ate there, I think, and she likes them. But yeah, they don't have them here on the East Coast.
Actually, they are peeling the potatoes right in front of you.
Yeah, that's pretty common here in all these places.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of them. Like Five Guys is a bunch of them. That's funny. This is a tough question, man, based on what you've told me. So if you don't want to answer it, that's fine. What's the toughest decision you've ever had to make, or the hardest thing you've ever had to do?
Yeah, to return to Romania back in 2006.
Was there a specific reason you came?
Basically, women issues, right?
Yeah.
So I came back with a wedding ring to propose to somebody. And didn't work out. Well, I didn't have any energy or urge to get back to the States after that.
Yeah, man, something like that saps your energy for sure, man.
Well, but hey, we are here after that happening. I had 3 other albums out, so just build up myself.
That's just how it happens, man. And the last question, and I can't thank you enough. You've been very interesting, very candid, and I really appreciate you taking the time and you're sharing your views. This question isn't on here, but over the last 10 years, how would you say your personality's changed? And has that change been intentional and deliberate on your part, or has it just been a natural from aging?
I think wisdom is should come in a natural way, because unwillingly you are getting into certain situations in life. You have to solve. Maybe you got a punch in your face. Maybe you have to give a couple of punches to other people's face. Actually, you are living the 8th, the 9th, and the 10th law of the thermodynamics, right? By all these kind of social frictions and tension. I was pretty irresponsible, let's say 10, 12, 15 years ago, or maybe even more. When I was there, I didn't realize that I'm such an irresponsible guy, especially toward my own self. I thought everything is just it's happening because I deserve it. No, I don't deserve anything. I have to make it.
Yeah.
And I think coming up with toward this idea, I just gained maturity. With maturity, responsibility. With responsibility, kindness.
Yeah.
And with kindness, an inner peace of some sort. And I think this is reflecting on this new record,
Reborn.
And I have also songs about the vulnerability of the man's soul as well. So there are songs on this record who are actually celebrating the sensibility of the man's soul. That yes, we can be vulnerable too, and we are vulnerable as well.
Hey, listen, I can't thank you enough for your time. I want to tell people where to find you and how to check you out. First of all, A.G. Weinberger. It's AGWEINBERGER. If you haven't heard his playing, you heard what a soulful guy he is. He's a great blues player. I would encourage you to check him out. I'm going to give you a couple of places to look. First is reverbnation.com/AG Weinberger. He's also got a YouTube channel, Instagram and LinkedIn, all under the same thing, A.G. Weinberger. Also, he's got a pretty good Facebook page. And his records are available on CD Baby, iTunes, and anywhere else electronic downloads are available. Couple of things, opportunities here. AG actually gives Skype lessons, and he does something I've never heard. He not only will give you Skype lessons, but he prepares some documents for you. Plus, he has kind of like ongoing email correspondence. So if you have a question or anything, it's, you don't have to wait till your lesson. You can shoot him an email, which I thought was pretty cool. So if you're interested in Skype lessons with one of the greatest blues players in Europe, hit him up at info@agweinberger.com. And also, if you are a booking agent looking to fill some shows and you're interested in the hottest blues player in Europe and definitely the most intense blues player in Europe, same thing. Hit him up at info@agweinberger.com. And also, if anybody is interested in either getting involved at the label level or you're interested in becoming an executive producer on his soon-to-be released album, same thing, hit him up. If you've ever wondered what the recording process is like and you want to participate in it, and by participate, it means, contributing money and being a partner like that, same thing, hit him up at info@agweinberger.com and, speak to him and see if it's a fit for you. That's it, man. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you for your interest and your support. Thank
yeah,
you so
man.
much.
Anytime. You're a great player and you're an interesting guy. So thanks for everything. And thank you for being so sincere. That's very cool.
Well, my pleasure. Thank you.
Everybody, thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed this interview as much as I did. Thanks again to A.G. Weinberger for spending time with us. I definitely appreciate it. Go to everyonelovesguitar.com, get on our newsletter list, and get notified about future episodes and some other cool stuff we have going on. And most important, remember that happiness is a choice, so choose wisely. Be nice, go play your guitar, and have some fun. Till next time, peace and love, everybody. I'm out. We hope you enjoyed this show. If you did, subscribe to the Everyone Loves Guitar podcast, and you can do this online at everyonelovesguitar.com or on iTunes. And if you like the show, please leave us a 5-star positive review. The more 5-star reviews we get, the higher our show ranks, and higher rankings mean we get to continue speaking with cool, interesting guests on our show. We'll see you on the next episode, and until then, keep playing your guitar and have fun making music.